And you know how it's going down. It's the daily, daily go get optimism show. We got something to discuss now. Everything will be all right, and you know it's gonna be all right on a hump day. Everything is gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. How come? Because I say, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like a real man should on this hump day, Wednesday, the 12th of May. And I hope y'all feel the same way today. Everything is going to be okay. Carol Chamberlain is in the house. Bow. Yeah, she's about to turn it out. And she's my favorita. So glad to see ya. I knew from the first time you was my word. And that's how it's going down on Daily Go Get It Business Show. Tonight, we're talking about who says that women make less money in the workplace. You might say it. Other people may have said it. Is it still the same? Is the game still the same? We're going to see what's going on. Call it by name. T. Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always have the good to have the peoples in my... No. Yo, we're going to do it over. I said T, carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always good to have my peoples going directly in your sight. And my brother Ansel Jones, all the Baltimore chicks can't leave him alone. And yeah, Robbie making my big sis here to do her thing. She's queen for a king. And Stacey White, hold it down for the D. It's always good that you came through to see me. And that's how it's going down. We're about to get into it right now. We are talking about women working in the workplace, women making money in the workplace. Now, for decades, for a long time, women have been complaining that they are underpaid, underrepresented, and men who hold equal or similar positions as they do at work make more money than they do. And we got to take a look at it. We're going to take a pause for the cause. And we're going to investigate for all y'all and stand tall on it. Yo, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill is always here. He's dressed to kill and everybody's going to see. Now, brother can get ill. Word. So that's how it's going down. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. The Daily Go Get It Business Show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the Arts. The Daily Go Get a Business Show all up in your area. Feeling like a real man should, like I said before, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. And that's a good thing. Real good, y'all. They ain't real positive. What's going on, Sucre, JTX? Sucre, c'est toi. It's good to see you, ma. Sucre, c'est toi. It's good to see you, ma. So we're gonna talk about women in the workplace. You know, for years, women have been complaining. They say that men in equal positions or even lower positions make more than they do, or make equal pay than they do when they don't deserve it. They feel like women don't get hired for certain positions because of gender bias, things like that. When it's time to give out raises and promotions and bonuses, they feel like they get slighted on that. Well, that's what I've been hearing. That's what they tell me. They told me. But is it true? Is it true? Is it true the same way today as it was a few years back, few decades back? Now, we know for a fact that women have made a lot of strides in a lot of different industries, especially when it comes to corporate. Now, corporate is not a job, but it is an industry, and it is an understanding. It's an entity. So when you're talking about corporate, you're talking about the area of a job where you work with the decisions about how to make the money are made. We're talking about people who are instrumental in the profit generating that comes along with the position that a person holds. So we know that when it comes to big business, when it comes to Fortune 500 companies and stuff like that, for years, you would only see the names of men who were CEOs and who were VPs and people who were other types of high ranking officials who determine how things are done in businesses. For many years, you would only see males in those positions. It's not really like that anymore. And that's like this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to get into making it sound like sort of like they say that black like racism isn't what it used to be. It's not like it used to be. It's not as blatant. It's not as open as it used to be. That's what people were saying before like 2017. Now motherfuckers have to come back to their original declaration before, which was, yeah, it's bad out here. Black people get treated like shit, and they do. So I don't want to take the women in the workplace narrative and be like, yeah, before they didn't make as much money, but now they make really, really good money. I'm not going to do that, because that's not for me to say. Because just because I may bear witness to some successful women in business and in the workplace, it does not mean that they are winning overall. Because in many places where I'm not able to view or bear witness, it may be an all male dominated type of thing. So, over here on the East Coast and all of that, I can huff and puff about how these women out here getting it and how the white man will give the black woman a job and give her a position, but he'll make sure that he don't give the black man a job or a position. So he will look small and insignificant in the structure of his family because he can't bring home the bacon. How much money you're making? Bring home the bacon. How much money you're making? Bring home the bacon. How much money you're making? Your girl making more than you. You's a simp, dude. And you can't bring home that cake because you don't make enough butter and milk to make that shit happen and make it eggs. You know what I'm talking about. She got legs. Yeah, she knows how to use them. Black people have their problems, and black women have their problems in corporate America and in anywhere where the workplace is concerned. It may still be the narrative that women, and particularly black women, are not getting their just due, even though they may be really, really putting in that work. Now, I ain't gonna front. I know a lot of black women that's making more than men, and I know I hate to say this shit, but I know way more women that are in the workforce than I do men. I do. I know a lot of women who work, and they ain't making petty cash. They're not. They making decent money. Because when you really think about it, with so many women out here nowadays having to be single mothers, how are they going to be able to make ends meet when they are making more money than would allow them to collect any type of welfare business benefits like welfare check or food stamps or even the medical card? They're making more money than that will allow them to do. So they have to be making enough money to be able to, if you're going to kick the I don't need no man, or I can do it myself, then you're going to have to be making enough money to have that car. Pay your car note, the house, pay your mortgage, the bills, pay tuition for your kids, because you said that they gotta go to private school, parochial. They go to Catholic school, and you gonna make sure that they go from 1 to 12, and you gonna pay for that health care insurance. Gotta have that assurance that the check is gonna be there. You do your hair on Saturdays, go to the salon and got it going on. And guess who owns the salon? Women. Now, sure, plenty of men own hair salons too, but that most salons that you go to are owned by women. maybe back in the day it didn't used to be that way. It is now. It is now. It is now. And I might be wrong in what I'm going to say, but most women that I know who still go to a hair salon normally go to a hair salon ran by women. Not all of them. But shoot, you know, these chicks going to Empire Beauty School. Back in the day, they was going to Wilfred and Gordon Phillips and shit. You know what I'm saying? They passing their state boards, licensed cosmetologists, and many of them business minded. They go out and get this money, get a loan or whatever. And we can. And speaking of the beauty industry, we cannot discount the underground. You know, the chicks that do the crib at the hair, she got everything in that bitch, and she'll share hot combs. He got the own grease. You know, she got her own face on her own grease. Yeah, they selling their own products and making that shit up. Yo, this shit is rocking, yo. So, you know, women making less money in the workplace. I don't know. I need y'all to share that show, though. I need y'all to share the show and push the like button. Hit that thing right now. And I need y'all to subscribe, and you know how. And hit the notification bell so y'all know when we're going to be on again as well. It's the Daily Go Get a Business Show, and we are talking about who says that women make less money in the workplace. I'm going to need y'all to talk to me tonight. I'm going to need y'all to talk to me because the women I know be getting money. They ain't a bunch of hustlers, and I'm not saying that they're rich, but one thing is for sure is that they're not settling for the okie doke. And I don't know if they were settling for the okie doke back in the day. I don't know if it was more of a situation where women were feeling like, I'm just happy to have a job. But I know it ain't like that today. These chicks be like, I'm not working for this little bit of cash. I'm going to get up in that ass real fast. And if you don't pay me enough to stay, I'm going to open my own business, do it my way. So what you know? I see that we have a call on the line. I like that. It's heating up a little bit. If y'all would like to call in and speak on this topic, because we're going to get, it's going, hey, yo. 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine. 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak, and then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number like I'm about to do right now. So call up with the last numbers 7019. Welcome to the Daily Go Get a Business Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening?
Hi, I have a quick question for you. So is it your understanding that the women in the workforce that make less money is because they make less money overall?
Yeah. Okay, it's sort of like the women's liberation back in the day and the feminist movement now. White women basically started screaming about not having equal opportunities, not having a chance to compete, and not being given the chance to be able to make money, and being underpaid for the same work that they were doing, and only being able and only being offered certain jobs. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, especially in during World War I, World War II, women were slighted to have certain jobs. Remember, before 20 years ago, women couldn't fight they couldn't fight on the front lines in the military. You could join, but you couldn't fight. And now they can fight.
Right.
So the way that they kind of had it before, where they had basically at jobs, they were giving women's work, not necessarily just cooking and cleaning, but somewhere along them lines, you know what I mean? Making sure that they didn't do anything that was that required any testosterone or muscle or whatever, and jobs traditionally held by men because of a lot of sexism and whatever. So now when I say that, who says women make less in the make less money in the workplace, I also have to separate Black women from everybody else women, because because the white supremacy still kicks in for us. So even if we're getting it, we still have to watch our step, because there's the racist aspect of it, and there's the stay in your place aspect of it, and then there may be a situation where you got to battle your own spouse or your man at home because he might feel some kind of way that you're making more money than he does. You know what I'm saying? Or or that you may have ambitions that he may not want you to have. Shit happens. So there's a lot to deal with. So I'm not sure if I answered your question correctly, but yeah, I'm challenging whether women, particularly Black women, make less money in the workplace, because I'm not sure if that's the way that it goes for us. Other women, I can't speak on that, but for us,
well, I guess if your comparison is for Black men and Black women, and whether there are more Black women in the workforce than Black men, then potentially, Black women could dominate in that comparison. However, overall, Black women are still sort of at the bottom of the list in terms of ranking when you compare to white men and white women.
Mm-hmm.
Now there has been great strides in terms of allowing women to do sort of quote unquote male dominated fields. However, they don't dominate in terms of like reaching more top level positions like that white men still dominate. So in that sense, we still, women in general, are still, less ranking, because even when women do the same jobs as men, they still get paid less. And that's across the board.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot about that. I'm wondering if it's really still true, and I have to admit that my example is going to be a little bit limited because of where I am and what I see. You understand what I mean? So like, it may be easy for a person to say, well, I don't know what y'all talking about. At my job, the woman is a VP, and or they even advertise it as a women's own business. You know what I mean? Like, now we got Black owned business. Now we got women owned business. I just got put on to that. Like, oh damn, we doing that? You understand what I mean? So it's a calling card.
When you talk about right, but when you talk about in totality, how many of those are compared to how many of our counterparts? So, granted, there are women who do have high ranking positions, but even in one particular job, in one particular field, it may be one or two women to 10 to 20 men. So in terms of whether women still, even, I don't care how you slice it, women would still be below the men because you have more men compared to the women.
Okay. So once again, okay, now look at it this way. I understand what you're saying, that maybe per capita, women are making less money in the same positions as men. But how do we describe a situation where there may be more women that work at that workplace? I mean, I'm sorry, there may be more men that work in the workplace. So overall, men are going to get paid just by default of the fact that there are more of them. But if a woman is the CEO or or the VP or executive VP, she still gets paid more than all of them. Now, of course, there are only one of her, you know what I mean, or whatever, but she still gets paid, like she still gets paid more than everybody below her. So, like how would we describe that situation?
Well, I mean, you would describe it just as it is. I mean, if a woman is a boss in that particular workplace, I just challenge the fact that, how often is that the case? And not only that, how often is it a black woman? Unless it's a black owned business, or, at some point she still works for a white man. Like, I personally can't think of too many instances where a black woman is the top dog. Like, she doesn't report to anyone.
I know of a few personally. Now, maybe
but it's like it's not a situation where it's like a multi-million-dollar company, or there are I know a lot of women bosses. Don't get me wrong, and they are definitely bosses in their own right. But like I said, when in terms of corporate America and how things scale in that arena, when we're not talking about women-owned businesses, or we're not talking about black-owned businesses, black and women-owned businesses, I think when there's a mixture of, when it's open to everybody, we don't rank so high. And if we do, there's so little of us that it doesn't really make much of a difference in terms of how we get paid.
Okay. I guess the question that I'm asking for the most part is, in a company where a woman holds a position, is she being paid less than a man who works in that same position?
Yes. Factual per data. Like, that has been an argument for years, and there are statistics to back that up. That's not.
Now, see, I wonder if you have to add in the factors that may influence that. First of all, I'm not 100% convinced that it's like that, like it used to be. Before, I would have definitely said, yeah. Nowadays, women not going for that. They're not. I mean, I could limit it to the women that I know, but I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just not going for that. And now, of course, there can be little backroom deals to whereas she may not know that she's being paid less than somebody else, but you can best believe there's going to be a problem when she finds out. She's not just going to accept that as, huh?
Exactly. I mean, that's what's happening now, where you see an uprising of women who are fighting against that very thing, because once they realize now that they make less than their male counterparts, that they are trying to change that. But it's a slow process. It hasn't been that easy to rectify across the board.
It's interesting because I learned how to negotiate a salary from a woman. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know that. This chick put me on to that shit. She was like, yeah, they gave me the job offer, but I rejected it and gave a counter offer. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you don't have to accept it. When they offer you a position at a job, you don't have to take what they offer you. You can negotiate. But all I'm saying is, a man didn't teach me that. That was a woman who put me on. And it was a while back. So I don't know who taught her that. You understand what I'm saying? But she knew it. And it wasn't like she worked in corporate America, whatever. She worked in she was like a hospital tech. And but my point is, she ain't the only woman that I know or knew at that time that was not accepting less than what she was worth. She knew what the salary ranges were for jobs, and she made sure that she got hired within or above that salary range. She was going for hers. They were going for theirs, should I say. Now, before, I don't know if
what does that mean? Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know if a lot of women, if she was representative of what a lot of women knew, but particularly Black women, and I'm going to stick there because that's what I know more than anything else. I know white women get paid. I know it for a fact. I know it for
white women
get paid. I know they do. They not, whatever was happening with them before, it ain't happening now. They gets that cake straight up and down.
But they don't get paid. But they don't get paid as much as their white counterparts.
See, we don't have any, but we don't know. We don't have any way of knowing that. Like, if one manager, if a wait a minute, wait.
They are the face of the ones spearheading this movement of getting equal pay, because they are angry about it.
Exactly. So wait, how long have they been spearheading this?
Behind the scenes, I don't know.
Well, that's
what I do know, that now that it's out in the open, they are the ones spearheading it.
What I'm saying is,
now we may been the ones, in an uproar about it behind the scenes. However, like with many things, they take a movement and run with it because they can, in the grand scheme of things, have been known to be able to affect more change than we can, historically.
Yeah.
In terms of, sheer numbers.
And that's why I question if it's still the same way. I don't know. 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, yeah, I would be sure of it. 10, 20 years ago, I'm not so sure if it's like it used to be. I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Because they, like I said, they're not going for the okie doke. Now with Black women, nowadays, Black women in particular have more. They're the most. Black women are the most educated class of people that there are in the United States right now. Black women are so I doubt if they're going to school so they can make less money than their male counterparts, though. That's why I say I question it.
But the statistics say otherwise, because most people who have degrees and and have multiple degrees don't make the type of money that they was expecting to make post-graduation, right? Most people don't work in the field that they graduated in post-graduation and the field that they have degrees in.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times, because of that, they're not making the money that they probably deserve to make, and have had to take, lesser positions and work their way up to a salary that they feel is manageable.
But with them out being out, well, with them out learning, out graduating their men, how are their men going to deserve? How are their men going to demand the same salary as a person who has a degree when they don't have one? How would that work?
Because men don't have to demand it; it's automatically given to them.
Black men?
No, not Black men, because Black men are kind of.
But see, that's what. But like I said, that's why. In terms of jobs. But that's what I'm saying. That my focus is on Black men and women, because I ain't gonna front. I know way more women that work than I know men. It's a fact. And most black men will tell you the same. Like, these women out here getting it. Most brothers I know, like, some of them work, some of them don't, some of them hustle, a lot of whatever, a lot of them locked up or whatever, but they women are getting it. However they gotta get it, they're working. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. When I say women, you know, I kind of have to separate black women from the rest of them, because listen, you know, the whole single family household thing, single mother thing, you can't do that. Well, I was about to say can't do that without a job. Yes, you can, but you can't do it the way that they can't. It can't be done the way black women want to do it without no job, because there's shopping involved, and it's hard to do that with a welfare check. You know what I mean? There's shopping. Kids gotta, you know, they shopping for the kids, they shopping for themselves. It's too much fly shit out here for, you know. I'm just saying. All right, hold on a second. We have a caller on the line. Another caller on the line. Caller with the last numbers 4828. Welcome to the Daily Go Get It Business Show. Thank you for holding. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Oh, I've just listened to you guys go back and forth. But what I wanted to add was that when we're talking about pay scale, I think it really does depend on what region you live in and what industry you work in.
True.
Because Black women, principals, are notorious for making more money than white males who hold the same position, because we have more education and a lot of times more experience. So I think it really depends on the industry, and I think it depends on the region that you live in. But I would like to add, that when you do find a Black woman as a CEO, you know, as a senior administrator at a company, oftentimes the retention rate is lower because there's more scrutiny put toward that Black woman than there ever will be.
Plus she'd be making too much money, right?
I'm sorry.
I said, plus she'd be making too much money, right? They be like, yo.
I don't know.
We gotta get Shorty a party.
A Black woman. Yeah, right. When you see a Black woman being scrutinized like that, you know, it's almost like they put us in certain positions to say, look, we put one here, but she didn't do the job well.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they're combing through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and now they have a reason to remove her from there and put a white man or even a Black man in that position, a man, period, in that position.
They're not gonna replace no Black woman with a Black man. It's not gonna happen.
Depends on the industry.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
It really does make a difference. It really does make a difference.
Maybe in Hollywood.
And as far as
you have to remember they have a lot of jobs where now they're requiring them to put a minority in their position, and a lot of times a woman and a Black woman fits the bill. So
no, white women fit the bill. That's a minority.
I said a minority.
That's what I'm saying. White women, that's a minority. Official.
But I want to ask.
It is. It's a fact.
Excuse me, brother. You mentioned that a woman taught you how to negotiate a salary.
Mm-hmm.
I take it that was a Black woman?
Yeah.
Okay. She was able to teach you that because that's something that we have had to become accustomed to having to do. We have to do the research to see how much this position is supposed to be paid, because, you know, they will lowball us. Or treat us like, hey, I know you're happy to get the low end of the salary range anyway. So that's something that we've had to learn. So yeah, of course she was able to teach you how to negotiate the salary. We've been doing that.
Well, see, okay, when I was in high school, I took a job search class, and they showed us how to fill out an application correctly and how to make resumes and cover letters and all of that kind of stuff. And they taught us about how to negotiate salary, but the way he taught it, as I remember, he didn't he didn't teach us what to do when it's not enough money. I would have remembered that. I would have remembered that more than anything else.
He can't teach you something that he doesn't have experience with.
Yes, he can.
A black woman is going to have
no, wait.
a different experience.
This was
wait.
You have to understand. This whole class was nothing but a job search class. So he knew.
Taught by a man.
Taught by a man. But he.
So what she's saying is. What she's saying is that most men don't identify with having to ask for more money because they're already getting paid more than they expect to get paid anyway.
I don't think that didn't apply. That didn't apply with this. It really didn't. It didn't really apply because,
This is what I want you to understand. There's a certain finesse that a black woman has to have when she walks in to go get any job. There's a certain finesse you have to have if you want to get paid what you are worth. And I'm sorry, but a man cannot teach you that.
Black men do not have worse struggles than black women do. I'm not trying to hear that.
Say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if a black woman has to do a lot in order to get paid her worth, a black man has to do the same or probably more because in corporate they are quicker to hire a woman than they are to hire. They're quicker to hire a black woman than they are to hire a black man. It's a fact. It's a fact.
Just because they're hiring the black woman does not mean they respect the black woman. So, like I said,
if they don't respect, but if they don't respect her,
finesse that a black woman has to have when she is walking up to that table, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not comparing the struggles.
Okay,
I'm saying, like, you made a comment about the fact that a black woman taught you how to negotiate a salary. On a deeper level, and I'm trying to explain why.
But I don't accept your reason why, because like I took the classes, so I know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I know what happened. So with you not knowing her personally, I can't really allow you to speak on her behalf. But the reason I said that is because I was trying to highlight the education level, and I don't mean education in terms of just the papers, the pencils, the books, and the classrooms. I mean education as far as having knowledge of an industry and knowing how to make things happen for yourself. That's all in education too. So if that woman who was not looking for a position of power, but just looking for a position of worth, if she can teach that, it makes sense that black women that I see in positions of power, it makes sense that they been knew this shit. If anything, I'm saying, if anything, I'm saying that I'm slow to it. And guess what? I know other black men are slow to it too. They don't know that. Because after she put me on, I put on a lot of other black men. They didn't know about that shit. And there are thousands, maybe even millions who still don't know.
But I think you're remiss in acknowledging the fact that what the other caller was basically just saying to you is that black women understand this game because we have directly, I guarantee you'd be hard pressed to find a woman who hasn't dealt with that specifically in terms of having to go to an interview and already know that you need to finesse a situation in order to get the money that you think you're entitled to. And it's not just, and most of the times across the table is a man, whether he's a black man or a white man, it's a man across the table. And even oftentimes when it's a woman, you will find that you won't get that same leisure in thinking that you're going to automatically get what you ask for. But you have to ask for it.
Okay.
That's even worse because that woman is looking at you like competition.
Exactly.
I think you think we're disagreeing.
No. I don't think that you're disagreeing at all. I don't think that you're taking some things into consideration. I just don't consider, like, I'm trying to get you to understand that the struggles of a black man to get a job and to be paid his worth and to receive consideration is equal or greater than a black woman in corporate America.
Okay, I know, but no one said that it wasn't.
Oh,
you're the only person making that comparison. I'm not making that comparison. Neither of us are making that comparison.
All I'm saying,
I'm just talking about certain skills that you have to hone as a black woman when you're going out and you're now you have to convince somebody that they have to pay you what you're worth.
Okay. Well,
I can't speak as a black man. I can't speak only you can speak as a black man. I can speak as a black woman all day, every day. So that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so you can let me know how it is from your side. I'll let you know how it is from my side.
Well, I can let you know how it is for a black person, and the struggle is pretty much the same. My point is that, in the black community, I think it's hard to argue that black women are being paid less than black men. I just think it's hard to argue that. I really just don't see it. But before I used to see it, but I don't see it. I see way more women that have jobs, period, and I see way more women that have better jobs. And it definitely, I see way more women that are in positions to have better jobs because of their educational background. I mean, y'all winning. Right. It's just a fact that you can see. You can see it. You know what I mean? And that's why I brought up the. Hold on a second. That's why I brought up the whole thing about the single family households. You know what I mean? And the black community is saturated with single family households headed by women. I don't see how they can do that without having jobs and an income that is either comparable to men or at least existent. I know a lot of
but you're talking about a situation where black men are not even in an equation when there's a single family home. So you can't say that black women are making more money to them because they're not even in that equation, and that's not by choice. That's by necessity. If you have to take care of families, then you have to do what you have to do to meet those obligations. And if you don't have a counterpart to assist you in that, then you know that the weight bears on your shoulders. So you do what you have to do.
Yeah,
but I'm speaking in general because not everybody does that. But what I'm saying is, for people who are, taking care of their responsibilities, and that goes for, and I don't care what level of income you make. At some point, you're doing whatever you have to do.
I don't dispute that. What I'm saying is, okay, there are levels to how much you make and how much you're getting it. So you may be a one single family household on the block may not be the same as another single family household on the block. So maybe this woman, on this one at the end of the block or at the beginning of the block is taking care of 3 kids, making $50,000 a year. She may even be doing it on $45,000 a year, get a little hustle on the side. You know what I mean? But she making it. Now, at the end of the block or the middle of the block, you may have this woman here who has 2 kids and she making $75,000. You know what I'm saying? Still, the dynamics of the family are the same, except for the number of children. But they're both single family households. No man in the house who's contributing to the household. She might have a boyfriend or something, but I'm talking about in the home. And I don't know how we can know if she's making as much or less than her male counterparts at her job. But more than likely, with those kids, wanting new iPhones and PS4s and Xbox Ones and Air Max and Jordans and all this kind of stuff. I'm thinking that she's probably going to make sure that she's maxing out or pretty close to it. I doubt if she's just settling for the, well, you know what I mean, I'm just happy to have a job. I mean, it could be, but I'm not seeing much evidence of that.
There are a lot of variables in that statement, because one thing about a woman is that you figure it out, and a lot of times the things that you get aren't necessarily reflective of the income that you make. So women, and Black women specifically, are very resourceful. So you want to figure out how to get what you need.
No, I don't deny that. What I'm saying is, if we're talking about the Black community and we're talking about men compared to women, I think it's just hard to say that Black women are making less or even equal to what Black men are making. I think that they're making more now. I think that there's more.
Black women that I know are making more money. But that's why, as soon as I got on the call, I said it really depends on where you live and what the industry is.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, and that I know and that I'm around, excuse me, that they are all making ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
in comparison to their black male counterparts. So,
yo, I knew this black. I knew a black couple.
If you talk about statistics, you mentioned statistics earlier.
Yeah,
who's pulling these statistics.
That's why I don't.
And when they're pulling the statistics, what industry are they polling?
Mm-hmm.
You know, are they polling farmers? Or are they, I don't know. Well, we have to look at that too.
Yeah. I don't like to rely. I don't like to rely on
specifically on statistics, because I know that, I personally have never been polled, for statistical data. So I can't be certain that, those things are reliable. But in terms of, that's pretty much outside of, knowing, what people make at your own workplace or someone you're familiar with, or, people in your community or in your circle. That's really all you have to go off of. And so when you ask, who's making more money, it's definitely going to be based off of, what your experiences are and who personally compared to, like you said, the region that you live in and, the types of jobs that are available. Now, granted, from what I see, for me specifically, from what I see, of course, Black women make more money than Black men, because you don't really have a lot of Black men compared to the number of Black women in the workforce making the type of money that Black women make compared to their education level, because you have way more women educated than you have men, and you have way more. A lot of Black men, dominate, trade jobs and not necessarily corporate jobs.
Yeah.
So that plays a big part in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can dig it.
And one of the ways that companies have,
Go ahead.
One of the ways that companies have, addressed the uproar that women started to make regarding pay scale is creating a pay schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And so, most companies have a pay schedule. So it's like, hey, listen, this you can make, no matter who you are or what gender you are, you come in, with this degree in this position, this is the amount you will make. And then if you have, a higher degree, then we will add this amount to that base salary. Mm-hmm. Now, and then you have to think about the fact that, like he mentioned, Black women are more educated. So then, yeah, if you look at it that way, black women make more than black men most times nowadays, because there was not a pay schedule before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been a victim. I've been a victim of getting paid less money than my male counterparts. When I worked at the Bank of New York, I'm calling them out. I don't care. You know, when I worked in retail management,
there goes their sponsorship for this show. I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
You know, but you know, I worked in retail management. I got paid less as a black woman than I did any of my white counterparts, and as a woman in general. Mm-hmm. Until I was like, well, wait a minute. You know, at the regional meeting, then it was, you know, they had to pay me, but that's a whole other story. You know, but now they have the pay schedule, and that was to combat backlash that came from so much pay, you know, pay inequality.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, back in the day, people didn't share how much money they made. And companies didn't share how much money they paid their employees. And you know, so it was always a scale, but who knew where you ranked in that scale? Like, nobody.
They would tell you not to say anything.
Right, exactly.
They still do.
And then if somebody complains, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and some of those jobs will almost make it seem like it's a violation if you tell somebody how much you make. Yeah. Like really? Go ahead. I dare you to fire me because I told somebody how much I make. Like, good luck with that. Yeah, because they know they playing dirty. But business is business. You know, like and I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I didn't develop this show as a way to say like women are bitching all the time, but they're getting all this money. I just wanted to show that you know, change does happen. So where women, particularly black women, may have been placed in a box and in a condition that they were trapped by for a while, they recognized what they could do in order to change it, and they went about changing it. They actually took action about their condition and are still actively going about changing it. It's actually a good example if we could spread it out past just black women in the workplace, because men need this and the black community as a whole needs that. You know, where we talk a lot about action speaking louder than words, but in this circumstance, it looks like this was a bunch of individual efforts that made a collective. It's like, damn, I did the same thing she did. We didn't know each other, but we were in similar circumstances, and we said, nah, enough of that shit. So, you know, maybe enough. I don't know if the pay schedules you were talking about are like what is it like you know, when you work at a bank and you at a certain grade level, it'd be like you at this grade and that grade. Is that, I don't know if that's like what you're talking about. Okay. So
a pay on the pay schedule, the company will list every single position within that company. Mm-hmm. And then they have to list the base salary for every position.
Oh, okay.
And then they have to, it's basically a chart. Like, this is the base salary for each position, and this is the year-to-year raise.
Okay.
You know, percentage for every single position. And then there's a second or third page, depending on how many positions they have within the company, that is supposed to list supplemental pay. Like, I teach gifted classes, so I get a whole separate check for the classes that I teach. Outside of being an enrollment coordinator. Mm-hmm. And then on that, I'm sorry.
I was saying it's the same in government jobs. Like they
Oh, yeah.
they tell you exactly what you get paid, what your pay increases are,
And how much, what kind of boost you get depending on whether you have a bachelor, master's, PhD.
So wait, so
You know.
does this happen in? Can they do this in private business?
Yes.
Oh, I ain't gonna front. I ain't never heard no shit like that before.
Most people don't know to even look for it. They don't even know to ask for it. But those of us that do.
Oh, wait. So you're saying that this is
black women.
Wait. So you're saying that this is a good thing because you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. The way I was processing it was like you couldn't make any more than what this pay schedule says. But you're not saying that. They're just listing the base salaries, so you go from there, based on your,
Right.
so you can negotiate based on your knowledge, experience, and ability of whatever.
Education.
Okay, all right, I got it now. I was like, sound like some union shit. I'm like, okay, I get it now. Like,
It really is a good thing because
yeah,
you know, like if they offer you the job of an enrollment coordinator, that you're supposed to start at $65,000.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, and that's just, you know, with minimal education.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're starting, so you already know, okay, $65,000, and I have a master's degree. So now they have to tack on another $3,000 to $5,000.
So let me. So you're saying that? Wait, hold on. Now you're saying all businesses have this?
Not all, but most.
Most, like if it's a major business, if it's a major corporation, you're saying they're going to have this?
They usually have a pay schedule.
So you when you go to get a job, you can ask for the pay schedule and then negotiate from there.
You can actually, you're supposed to be able to look it up.
Oh, you're supposed to be able to look it up. Okay.
So
all
like,
right.
so like in education, it's public.
Okay.
So I can go online and pull it.
Right.
You know, when you apply for a government job, they usually outline that in the job summary. They break it down.
And it's online too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was asking because I didn't know if you were saying that it's something that you should ask about in the interview process or at the time of an offer or something like that.
Oh, I have.
Okay.
I have.
Okay. But so you have, and you're saying that it's possible to do it. So my point is here. So a black woman taught me about negotiating salary, and now a black woman taught me about the pay schedule. So that means I have to extrapolate that all black women get paid more than black men because of their education, because all black women are more highly educated than all black men. And there you have it. This show has come full circle. Black women in particular get paid more than black men and black anything. And it didn't used to be that way, but that's exactly how it is now, and it's going to get worse. So do your thing, black women.
You know what?
But I know one thing. Y'all can dispute all y'all want about this whole black women not receiving equal pay or whatever. There has to be something to it, because how are all of these men? You don't see no memes of no skinny black women going to fat black men during tax time saying, I gotta do what I gotta do you? So once again,
you know why? Because men usually depend on women to guide them in that sense. Like,
listen,
and I don't care what race it is. Men usually depend on women. So even when you see CEO men, it's usually a woman supporting him in that effort to be that big and to get his job done.
The point is that once again, by hook or by crook, social media got it right. You see all these bum ass niggas leeching onto these these overweight, black women, because they get the tax return. And how can you get a tax return if you don't have no job? Which one on the meme is doing the begging and the conniving? The black man. Which one is doing the paying, the working, and the receiving? The black woman. Do your thing, black women. But remember that meme, and remember the Daily Go Getimism show, May 12th, 2021, where we once again have dropped a bombshell and blew the roof and the cover off of the underground network of black women out here getting all this money while these black men have to hustle on the corner and sell socks and irregular Timbs and Nike Airs.
Oh no, you didn't.
And oils.
Not a regular Tim.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
The baby powder oil.
Let me ask you this question, because you mentioned about black women noticing a disparity in adjusting by getting educated. But do you think that white women had to do the same?
As far as getting their education is concerned, I see. It's hard to say, but I'll say this: white women and white people in general don't have the same challenges towards receiving a formal education as the black community does. So the white women that I know who have held high-ranking corporate positions have graduated college. I'm not saying that they have master's degrees or whatever, but most of them that I'm aware of have made it to at least the bachelor's degree level. So, maybe their black bachelor's degree may have taken them a little farther than a black master's degree may have, you know what I mean? With a little negotiating and the good old boy network, but I can't directly speak on that. Just to answer your question, the white people that I know, yeah, well, the white people that I know who do have positions of authority and who have high-ranking positions in corporate America that I know, all of them have college degrees. Now and that's I'm talking about in upper management. Now in mid-level management, a lot of mid-level management positions don't require a college degree. So it's like you can go ahead and get one, but it may not have that much of an effect on the salary that you get.
So your question was whether or not white women felt like they had to up their education as well.
Right. And in order to get high-ranking positions.
Right. Okay. So
I'm going to say yes.
If your question is they felt like they had to, I'm going to say no. No.
I believe no too.
As a matter of fact, I have seen a white woman or white women be considered for a position off of just experience, no education, and
that's been my experience too. A lot of them
and the black woman is sitting there with experience plus degrees, and they say, you know what, Brittany
had more experience.
has more experience. Da 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 da.
Okay. Okay. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. I haven't seen it. I haven't, straight up seen it. But hey, I mean, why would that surprise me? You know what I mean? There's some positions that when it comes to upper management, it's really not about your degree, because you have to be able to produce.
That's true. But I'm going to tell you something. What the workforce in general has done in order to level the playing field, so that white people can compete with our overeducated black women, is now they say, you know, you can have a master's degree or the equivalent experience.
Exactly.
Before that wasn't the damn case.
Right.
That wasn't the case before. Now,
so now they will have either or. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they did that because they were like, these motherfuckers out here getting, you know.
Well, I mean,
double PhD.
Well, but once again, you have to separate the industry. Like that's not going to work. You're not going to get that in the health industry. Like you have to have that certification or you have to have that piece of paper.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna become no registered nurse off experience. Like experience what? Fuck you talking about? We better put away that gauze.
I'm just pointing out. Yeah, I'm just pointing out how we started to gain on them because we started really going for our education. And they try to, it's like a workaround so that they could still include, white people. That's all I'm saying. That is specifically a workaround. I do believe that there are industries where education is prime. I'm sorry, experience is prime, not, over education. Absolutely.
Well,
but I know that was a workaround because Black people were showing up and showing out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them were. Black women can always go back to school. Black men can always go back to selling drugs. Or if that doesn't work, we can always go back to using drugs. And if that goes well, then we can go back to jail and start all over again. So, we, as a Black man, I know that I control the hourglass. I can always start over. And I'm getting good at it by failing at everything. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, on some real shit, on one end, it's an inspiration. On the other end, it's a concern. But I really just wanted to get a little closer to what the truth is about women in the workforce, because I think that we got a little too stuck on, I'm not talking about on this show, but I think as people in general get a little too stuck on the whole, women are treated unfairly. I've seen the same thing happen with the gay community. Oh yeah, they've been maligned, they've been treated so bad, they've been mistreated, blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, you don't notice over here that they getting all the money and they controlling everything and they have all the influence. I'm like, are you sure that they being mistreated? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, you sure they not doing the mistreating? Have you seen what happens when you diss one of them motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know from my perspective, I don't as much as things have changed, a lot of things have remained the same. And I think that when you say that women aren't being mistreated in the workforce, I think you're limiting the perspective.
Oh no. I was talking about gays. I wasn't talking about women.
No, but when you say Black women are making a lot of money, yeah, we're making a lot of money, but compared to the amount of money that other people make,
y'all making more. Y'all making more than us, and you emasculating us.
Stop it.
It's true. It's true. First comes the you don't make enough money. Then it's you don't take care of your kids. Then you got a little dick, and now you broke and got a little dick. You don't even got a car. You bus pass. Yeah, listen. You need to get a bus pass and come over here and see your child, but make sure you at least bring allowance this week. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sue you and I'm gonna take you to child support court. Next week, but right now,
that's not even true.
Come over here and play Fortnite with your son. Play Fortnite with your son.
None of that is true. Women just want you to fill up their gas tank, have sex, feed them, and that's it.
That's right. All of those memes on social media say that.
First of all, The only women who don't require a lot from men are educated women. These bum ass chicks, they gonna bleed your ass dry. And if you stop bleeding, then they gonna start dissing. So I don't know what y'all talking about, but I'm out here in these streets. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? I just got cussed out earlier, so I'm not trying to hear none of that shit y'all talking about. You know what I mean? Y'all take y'all degrees, y'all take y'all worthless degrees and talk that shit to somebody who cutting checks. Down here where it's real, down here where it's PUA, we know what time it is. All right, listen, we gotta get out of here, man. I gotta do these birthday shout outs. But I appreciate y'all calling in, you know what I mean, and spreading all of this lies and gossip and misinformation, you know what I'm saying, that nobody need, nobody don't know, nobody needed to hear all that. Don't nobody want to hear this, you know what I mean, this lies and deception. Don't know, you know, talking all this old crazy stuff. I'm out of here. But I appreciate y'all input, even though I'm gonna edit this part out of the show. So,
thank you for having me.
Y'all have a great night. Holla back. Peace.
You too.
Let me write down these numbers so I know not to answer them ever again. All right. Let's see. Got it. All right. Wait a minute. Fuck. Yo, I muted myself. What I was saying was I got to write down these numbers so I'll know that when they call again, not to answer. So I got it. Everything is all good. It's like, no, I really appreciate those ladies for calling in and offering their 2 cents, because I mean, this is actually a real issue and it's an important issue. And there's so much back and forth. There's so much challenging between Black men and Black women, men and women in general. But in the Black community, you know, we're always finding ways to disunite or to go against each other and challenge each other for reasons that are less productive than it is for us to, you know, find more ways to bridge the gap between the way that we feel and learn to agree separately or to agree on something that we can all collectively get involved with for the greater productivity of our community. So I want to thank you ladies for calling in, because your insight was top notch. And I learned a lot, and I like doing that. That's what's up. That's hot right there. I mean, y'all need to go teach y'all man something though, because all right. With that being said, we have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious May 12th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Inez Harville. Inez, and also Ingrid Garcia turning 28 years old today, and also Dee Dee Nelson turning 50 years old today. She's a 71 baby. Yeah, she's driving them crazy. And Christy Coffee turning 43 years old today. And go get her, my girl Tonya Durham. Happy birthday to you, Tonya. North Carolina, stand up all day, every day. And my man George Madison. And last but not least, man, I'm going to give a posthumous birthday shout out, heavenly birthday shout out. Listen, man, you know, I hate when you know, Facebook comes up with the birthdays of today that I read from, and I go to their page to give them a birthday shout out. And you know, before I give the birthday shout out, I've become accustomed to going down their timeline to see when the last time it was that they posted. And sometimes you see that a person hasn't posted in years or whatever, so they probably aren't even on this account anymore. So it's like, why waste a birthday shout on that? But when I went down this lady's timeline, I saw that she had passed last year. Last August, she passed. Her funeral was on August 20th. So I was like, damn. She would have been 50 years old today. She was a 1971 baby. So heavenly shout out to Yolanda Wansley. Happy birthday to you. You know, I know that she was from the Germantown side of things, you know, where they build them kings and queens, baby. So I want to say happy heavenly birthday to you. Hopefully your passing relieved you of pain and suffering, and hopefully you're in a better place now. I want to give a shout out to all of y'all and anyone else out here who shares this birthday on this glorious May 12th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, women out there, you know, they do anything in the workplace, and there was a time when they really were getting the shaft in the workplace, but I think that they are doing a lot in terms of getting their stuff together, uniting on some fronts, and individually making it happen for themselves. You know, no matter what keeps a people down, it doesn't have to be what keeps a person down. And I think that with women being under the strict rule of some men's chauvinistic and misogynistic restrictions and rule, I think that they've learned how to get around things, how to get under things, how to get through things, and how to get to that bag. And that's something that now the men should learn from the women, particularly the black men. You know, instead of looking at your black woman like she's doing better than you, like she's outworking you and outdoing you, how about you learn from her what she should have learned from you? And maybe she did learn it from you, but now she's putting that in the greater practice. And we all have to do that at some point in our lifetime. So, congratulate her, take her techniques and make it work for yourself, but don't work against her, because that's dumb. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate you, and love you back to life. Please make sure that y'all hit the like button before y'all go. Share the show, subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So my blog talkers, let me get you out of here. I holler back, yo. I get with you, my dear. I say peace. And for my Instagrammers, Fire Slammer Jammer, I get back with ya. Yo, go tell your mama. Okay. And for my YouTubers, y'all know how I go. I get with y'all tomorrow with no sorrow. Don't have to beg, steal, and holla.